It's time to adjust those shoulder pads, backcomb what's left of your hair, and jump into the DeLorean for a look back at what's possibly the best decade anyone could ever have grown up in.
Shall we play a game?
This is Bring Back the 80s with your hosts James Alderson and me, Andy Jackson.
So, Andy, I thought we'd do a little short piece because obviously you're the birthday boy.
Yes.
And it's very important to celebrate these things because, quite frankly, we don't know how many you've got left. And
it's a sad thing, and I'd like to try not to remember too many, though I've got far more birthdays behind me now than I ever have in front of me.
Don't be silly.
It's a sad, sad part of life, James.
Well, you know what a lovely guy I am,
yes.
And I always like to celebrate other people's birthdays to remind me that it's not just me that's getting old. So I've brought you a gift, obviously. I can't get I can't get it out. That's how old I am, Mrs. So I thought I'd give it to you here because you'll love it.
It's beautifully wrapped.
Well,
beautifully wrapped.
You know, birthdays when you get to a certain age, there's nothing to do in the evenings.
Yeah.
And I thought I'll buy this for you because then when you get your friend over to celebrate your birthday, me, we can play it.
Okay.
Just you know, it's one of those classics.
Oh, come on now. Come on, get in. Derek Jameson's headliners.
Derek Jameson.
Oh my God.
Do you remember, it was a TV show in the 80s.
It was, yeah.
All about the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. And Derek Jameson was one of those characters who came from Fleet Street,
yes.
a bit like Janet Street Porter, onto telly, and just like Janet Street Porter, couldn't bloody talk properly. I mean, who decided we can barely hear what he's saying? Get him on the telly.
Get him on the telly.
Yeah.
That Janet Street Porter as well. I always remember when she used to come on the telly, my mum and dad would turn the telly over because they thought she was common. Whereas now, it's like, you know, it's everybody is free to speak how they want to speak.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, he was just a bundle of words and teeth and saliva. I remember as a kid watching him thinking, what is happening? But yeah, it's a good game. Not good game, but a good game for everyone to play. Headliners, probably newspaper articles, I don't know.
Yeah, and it's got all the decades covered, actually. There's questions on the 50s, 60s, 70s and the 1980s.
Yeah.
Obviously my specialist subject.
Of course.
So 1980s would be the one to go for.
Yeah.
I was just reading on the back of this about Derek Jameson. We, of course, remember him from the TV.
Yeah.
He was on flipping Radio 2 as well. He presented his own a BBC 2 TV series called Do They Mean Us?
Oh, yeah, I remember.
They Mean Us? But he was also on Radio 2 as well.
Yeah.
Every weekday morning. Attracting, he hosts the Derek Jameson Breakfast Show on BBC Radio 2 every weekday morning, attracting an audience of around 6 million people. Now, I can only remember Terry Wogan.
Well, he did the breakfast. Is that the breakfast that he did?
He hosts the Derek Jameson Breakfast Show on BBC Radio 2 every weekday morning.
Maybe Wogan took over from him.
Well, I don't know, but I don't remember him doing that at all.
I mean, the last thing you want is to listen to Derek Jameson on the radio at breakfast whilst he's eating some toast.
No.
He definitely wouldn't be able to understand what he's saying. But, I mean, he was a real character. And obviously, great fun on the TV.
Yeah.
And obviously, a brilliant original board game producer as well.
Obviously, I think it's good. Like you say, it's good with the people from Fleet Street.
Yeah,
they all going to have big personalities, weren't they? So,
yeah, I suppose.
So I guess that made them perfect for TV and
cocaine-fueled personalities.
They couldn't tap into people's mobile phones back in those days because there was no such thing as a mobile phone.
I mean, I suppose the last Fleet Street reporter who's transitioned into telly is what's his face? Piers Morgan. And what a successful TV career he's had.
Well, he's gone from breakfast TV across the nation to
global
racist TV. Nobody watches.
So yeah, I mean, he hasn't got a board game though, has he?
He's not got a board game. Maybe that's next on his agent's list.
I think dartboard probably go down well. The dartboard game with Piers Morgan. Maybe that'll be a bigger seller than the Maggie Thatcher one.
He actually rates number 2 in a survey, and I know this because I did this on the radio the other day. He rates, I think it's either number 2 or number 3 of the people that women have a secret crush on.
Really?
Yeah, Jeremy Clarkson at the top.
Eh?
Keir Starmer in there as well.
Okay, yeah.
But old Piers Morgan.
Where were we on?
We were, unfortunately, the list, they didn't have a bit of paper long enough for that.
I reckon this server was done before our podcast started, Andy, surely. Oh, dear. No, if I was asked where I put Piers Morgan, I'd definitely say number 2. And that's probably the biggest shit I can think of at the moment, to be honest. But yeah, I hope you enjoy that.
Oh, absolutely, James. I can't wait. When I'm back from my birthday, maybe Christmas around the fire, we'll have a little game of Derek Jameson's headliners.
Okay, yes, definitely. Nothing better. Okay, well, yeah, that'll tide you over for a couple of weeks until we're back in October with Series 3.
Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you, James. Thank you, everybody, for watching as
Happy
well.
birthday.
Thank you for subscribing and doing all the stuff as well.
Yeah.
Nearly 600,000 people on YouTube. Can't be wrong.
Silly. Well, some of them are probably wrong. Some of them are probably wrong.
But wherever you are, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And we'll be back with our next big proper episode mid-October.
Yeah.
See you then. Ta-ra.
Thanks for listening to this week's edition. We'd love it if you could subscribe in your favourite podcast app. And don't forget, there's a video version on YouTube too. You can contact us using the links in the show notes and on the YouTube channel. And we'll see you next time for another edition of Bring Back the 80s.